Okay, wait. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Sip and Talk podcast. I'm Ellen.
And I'm Nancy.
And today's topic of conversation is going to be about friendships, looking at the good, the bad, and the ugly. So, Nancy, what would you consider to be a real or a good friend versus someone that's just there for convenience?
Well, I think, in my opinion, a real friend is always there for you and ready to listen to you, while for someone who's there for convenience will only seek you out when they need something specifically for themselves, and they will not even ask you how you are or what you've been through.
Yeah.
They'll only look out for their own needs and benefits.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I feel like I've definitely encountered, I had a friend who would only ever hit me up when she wanted an invite to a party or someone to go with her to certain events. But then even when we get to the event, she wouldn't really speak to me. She would just go off and start networking, or I'd kind of be standing there what the hell?
And who's that?
She was actually, she was my best friend in primary school.
Oh, right.
And I'm not going to say any names, but she was my best friend in primary school. And then we ended up going to the same secondary school, where again, she only hung around with me until she felt confident enough to get kind of her own group of friends, and then she just ditched me completely, wouldn't even look at me in the hallway, wouldn't speak to me, nothing. And then I actually eventually moved schools, and then she started texting me more because she knew that I had moved to a school where it was co-ed, so we were in a class with guys, all that kind of thing. So she was like, oh, she'd only text me, I'd get random texts from her out of the blue being like, hey, so, just let me know if there are any gaffes coming up, or if there are any parties, or if you and a couple of guys from the school are going out, I want to join, I want to come along. So then, me being a decent person, I was like, hey, water under the bridge from, our last school, let's just leave it. Yeah, I'll invite. So I would invite her along. But then she would either make up weird stories about me to the guys and then just kind of, isolate me that way, or she would not speak to me at all and just, try and sort of polarize conversations to sort of leave me out, or not kind of, or make me sort of the butt of the joke. So this was kind of what was going on.
Make you look bad compared
made
to
me look really,
her.
really bad. Yeah, in front of her, in front of the guys, in front of other people at the party as well, and even the other girls that I was in the year with. So every time I think of someone that was just in your life as a friend that was for convenience, I always think of her. So
yeah, because friends for convenience, they're always they only want to hang out with you if they have nobody else to hang out with.
Yeah.
You're their last resort, and you can kind of always feel it.
Yeah, you can.
But then you always say, try to make excuses for them, especially if you're younger.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. But I feel like she just wanted, she always had people in her life who she could benefit from. And then when that was no longer the case, they were ditched. Yeah. My best friend that I made in this new school as well, she kind of took him away from me in the sense that she would, as I said, make up lies about me to him, or try and put him off me, and then he would confront me about it. He'd be like, oh, apparently you're actually this person behind closed doors, you're not someone that I got to know over the 2 years we were in school together. All of this just weird diabolical carry on.
Because of the things she said.
Because of the things that she said.
Yeah, but that also says a lot about him.
Yeah,
if he believed her over you, the person that he knows longer.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. So I actually felt really betrayed by that carry on, because I was like, hang on, you've met this girl once or twice at a party that I invited her to. Anyway, maybe I was at fault there for sure. I was never the best judge of character, but and then I was like, you never took my side. He never even wanted to hear me out, so he just actually took what she said for gospel, despite us being friends for longer. It's just so
that would
strange.
Also be another point of friends of convenience, because if you are a true friend, you will never take someone else's word over the person that you're closer to.
Yeah, well, that's
you
what
would always
expect,
find out same with you as well. We would have issues, but I would come to you to talk about them first, rather than run with it.
Or try and put me in a bad light to someone else who actually maybe isn't really involved.
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
It's
if for example David, he would say the randomest shit about you, and that's me taking it to heart and be like, yeah, I'll run with it. Ellen's like that. Yeah. Obviously not. I think I know myself better than you.
Yeah, no, exactly. And actually that same guy that I was friends with ended up working in a pharmacy just up the road from my where like my parents live. And I went in there one day to like get a prescription filled, and I saw him and I was like, stop. And I actually couldn't help myself but ask him whether he was still in touch with that girl.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, I'm not. Like once we left school and, you know, she ditched me. She just went her separate ways.
She
And I
has
was like,
no use of him anymore.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I mean.
Her
So,
job
like,
was done.
Yeah, like if you looked up convenient friend in the dictionary, you would see a picture of that girl. Like honestly, she was just horrendous. Like, and I was like, okay, I don't know what I was expecting asking him about her, but I think the fact that she had ditched him the way that he had kind of ditched me made me feel in some weird way like quite good, because I was like, oh, so like,
okay, it's just
I knew I wasn't crazy. I knew I
it's not
wasn't
just
like,
you, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Oof.
So maybe we can move on to toxic friends, perhaps red flags, jealousy, one-sided friendships, competitions, resentment.
Yeah, so I think definitely like for me, so like I would consider myself to be very, very loyal to my friends for sure, and I kind of expect that back. But naturally, I'm sure everybody in the world has stories of like friends that have let them down or that have kind of broken the friend code, for want of a better expression. Oh, red flags and friendships. Probably just compulsive lying. Number one, because that's like that just came first.
Especially if they know, like that we know that you're lying, but they still carry on.
Yeah.
Like, do you think we're stupid?
Yeah. No. For sure, compulsive lying, because what are you lying about? And it's never anything serious or worth lying
like,
about.
who are you trying to impress?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously, like, I feel like from experience that compulsive liars, they tend to just feel very insecure about themselves, or like I feel like they assume certain things about your life.
Yeah.
And assume you have certain things that maybe you don't, or maybe you're working towards, and then they feel like they have to come up with all sorts of weird ass lies to try and be on that same level.
Yeah,
do you know
like
what I'm
kind of
trying
like
to say?
make an impression almost.
Yeah.
Like, because like I feel like in that specific scenario that we're talking about.
Yeah.
I feel like in that specific scenario, because we were like a bigger friend group, it wasn't just like one or two or three of us. We were like 6 of us.
Yeah.
And I feel like maybe they were kind of like, where would the competition come in?
Yeah.
And they would like be competitive with the other girls.
Yeah.
Like kind of like, oh, I have to stand out amongst the others.
Yeah.
Especially because she clearly wanted to impress you at the time. And she probably felt like she had to make up some crazy ass stories for that purpose.
For that to happen, which is so funny, because like in her mind there's a competition, but like
there's
for everyone
no
else living in reality there is none. So like
exactly.
I don't know.
You're friends for a reason, because you want to be friends.
Yeah.
Not because someone's cooler than you, but then if you thought that, then you wouldn't be in our friend group.
Yes, exactly.
You?
Yeah.
Like,
Because I feel like the majority of the group is all very like genuine and authentic about who they were and their interests and their likes and dislikes, and just how they showed up in the world was very genuine. So I just find it very odd that she kind of felt like she had to be superficial and like fake, and I don't know, like just the total opposite of that.
Yeah,
despite
you can
being
just be
surrounded
honest.
by really authentic people.
You can just be honest and say, look, I'm not into the same things as you are. Like, you know, which is fine.
Yeah.
Friends don't have to have everything in common.
Yeah, absolutely. But sure, look, I think that kind of leads into the next red flag, which I would say would just be insecurity.
Yeah.
I think insecure people are very, very dangerous, because you can't be around them, because they'll always try and find a way to kind of put you down to elevate themselves, or they'll always kind of carry on in a way that is just ultimately toxic to you as like the other person in the end in some way. Like their behavior just won't add up with what they're saying, and you know, and like, would you say that like as an adult now that it's like harder to have genuine friendships, or do you find it harder to like make friends as an adult?
I think as an adult, it is harder to make friends.
Yeah.
It is. Especially in the modern age right now.
Yeah.
Which would lead us back to the last episode we talked about meeting people outside. Yeah. I think it would go same with meeting friends even outside. Like you can't really approach anyone outside anymore, because they think you're weird. If you're striking up a conversation or something, be it in a bar or like in a school setting, wherever, like, you know, it's a bit more difficult now, especially when you're an adult as well. I feel like you have already established friends, and as an adult, you kind of like are happy there. But then the other ones don't really want to like make more friends either because they're happy with their friends.
Yeah, I think you kind of took the words out of my mouth there, yeah, for sure. So like, and I feel like as an adult, like it's because everything is online now. People even meet friends online. Like there are, I think like you've got like Facebook Meetup where you can actually interact with people that might have similar interests. And I think there are new apps now where it's just purely for the purpose of making friends. Like, you know,
Bumble is one of them as well. Like Bumble is just not for dating; it's for like making friends online as well. Yeah.
And I just find it like I would find that difficult. Like I would find it hard to kind of meet people that way because I think not everything you see online obviously is real, and it's kind of hard to get a feel for somebody or like be able to make a proper first impression that way. But also as an adult, I think it was really interesting what you said that like friendships are already established. So like a lot of, I feel like a lot of people that I meet now that I'm like 30 or whatever, even in my late 20s, they're already very much settled in their friend groups that they've had from school or that they met early on in work or whatever. So like they're kind of maybe not willing to sort of take new people into that group because they're like, oh no, these are my friends. And like if you meet someone at work, you're just their work colleague.
Yeah, or like you make only acquaintances.
Just acquaintances
when you're exactly. Because they're like happy with what they have, which is not like a bad thing. But I feel like as an adult, you're quite content and you're not out there looking for like new friends or new buddies. Yeah. Unless like you don't actually have many friends. But in that aspect, I think adults just don't really have time for like seeking out friendships or new friendships as you would when you were like younger.
When you're younger, yeah. I suppose like getting older as well, like I think there's kind of less importance on having friends, and like not that. What I mean by that is you're quite content with the life that you are building.
Yeah.
You know, your job, you're quite content with like the job that you might have, or like an intimate relationship, or your hobbies. You kind of focus more on those things than I think you do kind of having friends. And I feel like as an adult, like friends are just they come and go a lot naturally as you get older. But I feel like there's less pressure, there's less societal pressure to kind of impress people or to have a big social group.
Yeah. As when you were like a teenager, or a young adult.
Yes, exactly.
As also, I think because as you get older, you have less time to spend with your friends anyways. Yeah. Because life
gets in the way.
Gets in the way, jobs and other relationships with your partner maybe. So you don't really have as much time as you would have maybe when you were in school or when you were in college. Real life.
Real life, exactly, yeah. And like, would you say like, would you have any moments where like a friendship like really kind of helped you like learn a lesson or helped you through like a really, really hard time? Like, can you maybe like, would there be a moment in your life that would like remind you of like, oh, I've had like a really good friend who has helped me through those things?
You.
Yeah, me. Oh, cute. I know we've really been through it. I feel like you and me.
Many times I would say it's been you because I've been going through a lot of shit in my life. I would say with heartbreak, and I would even say with grief when my mom was sick. And you were there for me a lot as well. You would listen to me, and you always listen to me in that house. Yeah. Like I could say the same shit over and over and again. You'd be like giving me the same opinion back. Like you would take the time to write out advice. To me. Yeah. But you would take the time to write out a response to me, even though I could repeat myself after a while. Yeah. You would still be there for me. And I remember, I think I have like this vivid memory of you specifically. Yeah. Like I wouldn't even call it a heartbreak, but do you remember when I was with Charlie?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, and I remember we went out for the night, and I think Charlie just like disappeared for like a week, and he hadn't texted me, and I was supposed to fly to Korea in like a couple weeks.
Oh yeah, let's go back and see him, yeah.
Yeah, and we weren't really talking, and I remember I just started crying in the middle of O'Connell Street, and you just sat next to me on the floor, and you just held me, and you were like, "It's gonna be okay."
On O'Connell Street, I did, yeah.
On the cold floor in the middle of the winter, you sat down with me.
I did, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and I think that's what like true friendship is about, when you're just there for someone in moments like that.
Yeah.
When you can lean on,
free.
Yeah, when you can lean on someone and not be afraid that they're gonna judge you or laugh at you for feeling a certain type of way.
Yeah, and I just feel like our trip to Korea was just so overwhelming. Like so much went on that I actually don't blame you for just landing in Dublin and just like letting all the emotions sort of hitting you all at once, and then you're like, Holy shit, I'm breaking down in the middle of O'Connell Street. Look,
No, I just remember.
stranger things have happened on O'Connell Street,
I remember
truthfully.
when I arrived back as well. I was really sick. Do you
Yeah, you
remember
were
that?
ill as well. You
Yeah,
almost missed the flight home.
And
remember
I couldn't hear with one of my ears, and one of my eyes was foggy. I don't know what I had, but I was not okay. Okay, so what friendships have taught you the hardest lesson?
I think I've had a couple of friendships in my life that have taught me different types of lessons, but certainly, like, I always think back to my school days where I was kind of having a really hard time with the girls in school, or they'd like pretend to be my friend just to get certain like specific information, like, oh, who do you like in school, because I was in a co-ed school, or who do you know, what's going on at home, or like, what's your home life like, or this, that, and the other. And then whatever I told them would obviously just end up back
Traveling
around.
Yeah.
And then I'd kind of be like, but you know exactly who has kind of spread those rumors. So I think that didn't happen just with one person. Like, that's kind of been my experience with friendships throughout my life. So I would say, like, the hardest lesson it's taught me is to just like not tell people anything.
Yeah,
Truthfully, like, just don't even go there with people unless you really, really, really trust them, or unless they're kind of forthcoming with certain kind of information about themselves, or if they're willing to share certain aspects of their life with you, then that tells me, okay, now I can,
Yeah, because I remember when I met you,
open up to them.
I remember when I met you, you were quite locked into yourself. Like, you wouldn't share a lot of details about yourself.
Yeah.
Like, I barely knew anything about you for the first couple of months.
Yeah.
I think we really got to know each other when the whole thing with Sarah happened.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
when we went to Korea. I think that's when you more opened up and you were like, okay, maybe I can trust this girl after all.
Yeah. Because I feel like, you know, there were certain aspects of like your life and my life that we felt kind of aligned, or like you had a lot of experiences that I had. Like, so I feel like we just kind of could relate to each other quite a bit more.
Yeah.
But yeah, from the beginning, like, it took me a while to like really, really open up to people, because I was like, oh, God forbid I say this one thing and it's going to end
the
up,
whole world is
everyone's going to know,
yeah,
in some way. And then I always end up kind of, in previous experiences, I'd obviously always end up like getting slagged, or like I'd be embarrassed, or I'd be humiliated, or would be brought up in class and everyone's kind of looking at you and laughing at you, and you're kind of like, oh, what the fuck? I thought I could like trust the person that I like told this to, and they're kind of, and then they're sitting there fully knowing that they've embarrassed you, like looking at you like, you know, like it's just you're just a big clown. So
having a good old giggle,
having a good old giggle. Key. So anyway, so that was kind of one of the hardest lessons, and I feel like it took me a while to learn it though, because I think in certain friendships I've had throughout my 20s as well, like I still kind of did the same thing, and it always just ended up, I was just always at the detriment of myself. So like I always ended up kind of like on the back foot, or like, you know, never really having the last laugh, or like the butt of the joke, or it was always just a big kind of, you know, oh, let's just slag Ellen. So so that's kind of been the biggest and like the hardest lesson that I've learned. But I think I've kind of come out of that now, but I'm still very much wary of it. So I think if I were to get into any other friendships, or like meet people through work, or like new jobs, or through, you know, hobbies, I feel like I'd be very like
closed off.
Very closed off. Yeah. Because
you do come across like that initially.
It makes it really hard to trust people.
Yeah, it does. But I feel like I gained your trust because I was willing to share my life with you.
Exactly,
like I had no qualms. I was like, Helen, this happened to me today. And you were like, oh God, should we take a pause for the fucking...
Okay,
pardon that. There's some works going on outside.
Can't be helped.
Yeah, can't be helped.
I felt like I could like really open up to you as our friendship.
Yeah, because I feel like in friendship as well, it's not like one-way street. You have to give something to get something in return as well. Like
exactly.
Like if someone's not opening up, maybe you have to make that first step so they can feel more comfortable opening up to you.
Yes,
like,
exactly.
You know? Like I wouldn't go there and ask you like intrusive questions if like. That's how I thought when I just met you. I was like, if Ellen wanted to tell me, she would. Like, I'm not gonna butt in and be like this, like
Sarah.
Yeah, like Sarah. Yeah, like who would be like, I need to know every bit of piece about your life. Like you know, like. And I remember I would text Sarah and I'd be like, look, if Ellen felt like she wanted to share, she would.
Yeah,
and if she doesn't feel comfortable, you don't push people.
Yeah,
like
and she'd always get really. She would take that as like a massive offense. Like I've just kicked her dog, or like punched her nan in the face.
Yeah,
like,
you couldn't
it was just a massive like this is such a problem for me that I don't know X, Y, Z
Yeah,
about
she
you.
needed
Like,
to
this
know
type of carry on, like, it's
every
weird.
bit of piece of information. Like
Yeah.
every time you went to the toilet, she would literally like, I don't know, fall over her chair, being like, "Oh, Ellen's going to the toilet." And
Yeah, she's going to like throw up her dinner. She's got bulimia.
And I'm
She's
like,
got an eating disorder. Like,
yeah, but like also
I went to take a
at the-
piss. Do you know what I mean? Fuck off.
I know you were
Yeah.
like recovering over it,
Yeah.
but like I'm not gonna police you to go to the toilet. Like, you know?
Yeah, just
also
weird.
at the end of the day, like if you start policing a friend who is going through like an eating disorder, like that's not gonna help them.
No.
Like they have to feel comfortable being around you,
Yes,
not like
exactly.
police. She would be literally ready to run after you to the toilet. I'm like, can you like let her for a minute? Like
It's like, does she want, you know, to stand over me while I'm on the jacks? Like, I'm
Hold your
looking at me,
hand.
like, hold my hand. Like, I don't understand what she really wanted. And it was the same when you were like sick or like had like your period or whatever. She'd be like, you know, bombarding you with messages about like trying to like give you advice to help you through your period, as if you haven't had a period for like your whole fucking life.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I
Yeah,
just
it's
asked
weird.
one question. I was just curious. 'Cause I was
Yeah.
quite young at the time as well. I was like, I think I was 23 and you were 21.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you could mix specific antibiotics with Nurofen Plus.
Yeah.
So, and I knew her family were doctors. And
Yeah.
I was like, can you just ask your parents if this is like okay to miss? Because I just got prescribed antibiotics and I just started my period and I was in like severe cramps, and she would just like send me like 50 messages in like private chat and be like, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Like, why are you taking painkillers? Why are you actually taking antibiotics? Why do you want to take both? And I'm like, it's none of your fucking business.
Yeah, like I just...
If I wanted to say why, I would.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
yeah.
Maybe it's personal.
Yeah, and you just don't need to go into that type of
Yeah.
information with somebody. Like, you probably asked her a question just expecting a very simple, straightforward answer, but that was obviously never the case.
It's like when she bought plane tickets to London.
Oh, yeah.
She didn't even wait for you to respond to say, yes, that's okay for me. And I remember I put it in the chat and I was like, okay, the price is fine for me. Because at the time you didn't have a job either.
Yeah, I
you
was
were
in
just
college.
You were a college student.
Yeah.
And I had a full-time job. So that was fine for me. But I said to her in the chat as well, because she had a full-time job as well. And I said in the chat, and I was like, just wait for Ellen to come back. And she was like, oh, yeah, but I want to buy them now. And I was like, yeah, but Ellen's in college right now.
Yeah.
Like,
just wait.
yeah, just wait till she
Yeah.
finishes her like, you know, class or whatever she's in the middle of. And she'd be like, yeah, well, I bought them anyways. And I was like,
Yeah, so she bought them anyway. And then I come back to a text message from her being like, yeah, so for the flight tickets that you actually knew nothing about, you owe me this amount of money.
it was almost 200 quid.
Almost
as well,
200 euros. I was like, what? What? I was actually so gobsmacked. And I think I texted you and I was like, have you seen... Sarah's just like asked me to send her
Yeah,
like
she
200 quid.
demanded
Like
the
she
money.
demanded the money. Yeah.
And I was like, but I think you should check with Ellen. 'Cause
You actually
she's-
told her beforehand to just wait. Yeah.
And then you came in the chat and she was like, yeah, so you owe me money.
Yeah.
And you were like, well, I didn't agree to this.
Yeah, I was like,
you
well,
know?
yeah.
And then, so you said, I just need some time to be able to pay you back.
Yeah.
You were quite straight up with it.
Yeah.
And she just took it as in like, you're never going to pay her, which
Yeah.
was like wild to me. And then she was like coming into my private chat and was like, oh, did you see Ellen's not paying me money? And I was like, that's not what she said.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Let's
not
use
at
our critical
all, yeah.
thinking comprehension
Yeah,
skills.
she said, I need a little bit more time. I don't have that right now because
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting to spend that money right now.
Yes,
you know?
exactly. Yeah.
Which is like fair enough.
And then she said to you in the same breath, she was like, just so you know, because Ellen hasn't paid me back absolutely immediately, that this is what she's going to be like in Korea. And you're going to have a nightmare in Korea with
She was
Ellen.
like, this is
because
like
she won't
a
pay you
glimpse,
anything.
Yeah.
And
And I was like, why would Ellen have to pay me anything in Korea? Like,
yeah. Or if you, as in, like, I think she was talking from like a perspective, like, for booking anything. Apparently, she thought that you would never
And
see a penny
I did
from
respond.
me. Like,
I did respond to her, and I was like, actually, Ellen has paid for every booking we have made so far.
Yeah,
for all the hotels and all the flights, we've done everything.
she was just bitter about the fact that we were going to Korea together and she wasn't coming. Like, that's just plain. She was just bitter about
that's
that.
not our problem. That's her problem.
That's her problem. Because she apparently never had any money despite having like probably the best job out of the three of us. I didn't have a job.
She was earning,
But
I think she was earning twice as me at the time.
Yeah, she was, yeah.
Yeah, and she never had money, and she was living at home with her parents as well.
Yeah.
And she didn't have to like pay any rent or anything as far as I know. And she was living in the countryside at the time. So she would only pay for the journey to Dublin, but she had like a decent job, and I think she was working for 3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, something
at the
like that.
time, yeah. And she had like a decent job and everything, and she was. I remember she would send us videos of her like buying the stupidest shit.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And I would be like, well, that's where your money goes. That's why you never have money.
Yes,
you
exactly. Yeah.
know.
She'd buy like crazy like BTS stuff, like a whole light up mask that just covered her entire face.
Yeah.
And like,
and then
and
she would like be giggling. Like,
she sent us videos with the mask on, lights flashing and everything, and she'd be like, tee hee in her video and like send it to us. And we're like, well, like, this is why you don't have no money. This is why you can't, like, you know, like, why would you even purchase that? That was before the BTS concert.
Yeah.
Where you decided to go with me instead, which is so funny.
Yeah, because initially you didn't buy the tickets together.
Yeah.
Your dad bought you
My dad got me
tickets.
tickets.
Yeah. And then she like demanded for me to drop our tickets in her work post box because I bought the tickets for us.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Yeah, I remember.
she didn't even get any tickets. She was like yeeted out of the line. And I got 2 tickets at the time. And they were like for quite good seats, I would say.
Yeah, they were pretty
for
decent.
Wembley Arena, it was quite
very
decent.
good, yeah.
And she would just like demand for me to like drop my tickets that I paid for to her workplace. And I'd be like, absolutely not.
And I remember texting you and I was like, are you actually going to do that? Like,
No.
have we deeped what she's just asked you to do?
At the time I was working night shifts. I have no time for this nonsense. I was working 5 times a week.
Also, the ferryman is like just across from the fucking convention centre.
Yeah,
like, and you're going to come all the way in from like Coolock and drop it in.
Yeah.
Absolutely
like,
not.
I wouldn't even get off the bus before work to drop it into her post box because like I would sleep to the last minute because I would work 12-hour night shifts at the time, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, absolutely not. First of all, I paid for them. So why do you think you have the right to demand these tickets from me?
Yeah.
Like I could have just said to her, like, I'll send you the money back.
Yeah.
Like you're not going at all.
Yes, exactly.
Like, you know? And we could have just sold your ticket and just went on our merry way. Like,
you could have. Yeah. But anyway, so then you decided to give me her ticket so we would sit together, and then I gave her the ticket that I had.
I was not going to sit next to her.
Yeah, you just decided you were like, I'm not going with Sarah, like, fuck that.
No, I told her I'm not, like, I told her I'm not sitting next to you, like.
Which is really funny.
Yeah, I was like, we're going to give you Alan's ticket.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go with Alan.
Yeah. And then I think she was like, oh, fine. Like, there was a big argument, obviously, naturally. And then anyway, whatever, we went to the concert and we had a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without her.
Without her.
And you spilled my drink.
I did, I'm sorry. But hey.
It's okay. One of my hardest lessons would probably be never work with your friends.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, I mean, it's fine to work with your friends, I think, because I've had friends in jobs and everything, and obviously friends you make along the way while you're in a job, but I would feel like not in a position that's above you.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I would say, it's a bit stressful because I feel like in that moment, because they're so familiar with you, they feel like they can give out to you more.
Yeah, treat you differently.
Yeah, treat you differently. Like, people always think like, oh, you know them, so you get special treatment. It's not true. You actually get more shit.
Yeah.
Because they feel more comfortable with you to talk to you a specific way.
Yeah.
While they wouldn't talk like that to the rest of their employees.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend that.
I think that's fair enough, yeah. Keep it professional always.
Yeah, exactly.
And have you ever missed someone that you've had to stop being friends with?
Let me think about that for a moment. Maybe if you have anyone at the top of your head.
Have I ever missed someone that I've had to stop being friends with?
Oh, I did.
No, I don't think I have.
I did. I think I missed Karina.
Yeah. Oh, did you?
Her, yeah. Oh. Yeah. Because that was really unexpected for me.
Yeah.
As well. I didn't expect that at the time.
Yeah.
So I did miss her. Because I think,
have I wouldn't, no, I don't think I have. I don't think I've ever missed someone I've had to stop being friends with because I think the friendship has stopped for a particular reason.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's a bit like ending a relationship, like your ex is your ex for a reason. Like there's just, I've never had an experience where I've ever gone back to an ex or like ever sent them a message a couple of months after we've broken up or anything. Like I just haven't, because for me it's like, it's done. So I think I apply that same mentality to friends. But obviously, like, you know, the friendships that I've had have been fairly brief. Like they've come and gone, or like something's gone wrong and like, okay, we're just gonna, like, that's it. We're not just gonna talk. I just would cut them off or like ghost them or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think if I had known someone for as long as I've known you, for example, God forbid, but like say our friendship didn't work out and we did have to kind of just call it a quits, I think there would be a period of time where I would miss you. I think I would go through, like, there would be a lot of grief. Like it would be a bit like a relationship ending, like an intimate relationship ending.
I mean,
do you
when
know?
you're friends for a decade, it would feel
it would
like
feel
that.
very,
Yeah,
very
yeah.
weird if you weren't in my life. So yeah.
Yeah.
So have I experienced it previously? No, but I think, you know, hopefully not, but God forbid.
Yeah.
But, you know, I
Knock
think
on
I would
wood.
if something, you know, if our friendship, for whatever reason, didn't work out, I would definitely miss you. Yeah.
No, same.
Yeah.
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 But otherwise, I don't think I've like specifically missed anyone that I personally have decided to stop being friends with.
Yeah.
No, and that way, no. But if
Yeah.
it's been like quite unexpected for me,
Yeah.
when it's been quite a shock,
Yeah.
I might have gone through like a small period. Like I wouldn't be like saying like it's super like traumatic and I'd be like missing them for like years.
Yeah.
No, but yeah.
Yeah, like you miss, you know, the conversations you might have had, or like how they might have made you feel, or like, you know, the relationship that
Yeah, but for
friendship
me,
that.
I think because at the time I did look at Karina as like a little sister.
Yeah, yeah.
So for me, it was like I think that aspect of like the familiar bond.
Yeah, breaking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that's understandable. And do you think trust and friendships can be rebuilt? Just leading off that.
Depends on the situation, I think.
Yeah.
Like I really it really depends on what's happened. Like for example, I feel like if your friend has cheated with your partner,
Yeah.
I don't think so. There's no way
absolutely
going
not.
back
Yeah.
from that.
No,
Like you can't.
the boundary has been crossed.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Like I feel like even if you choose to forgive your partner, you can never trust your partner and your friend in the same room. Like
Yeah.
imagine you have to go to the toilet and you'd be thinking like, oh, are they getting it on while I'm taking a piss? You know?
Or like my partner's going out, so I'm going to meet a friend, or I'm going out with my friends. Like I'm just going to go enter her place. So like, what the fuck are you doing? So yeah, exactly. Yeah.
In that aspect, I don't think that can ever be rebuilt, but it depends. Like if it's like a minor thing, if you talk through it, there's been like a misunderstanding between the two parties, I feel like,
Yeah, it can be easily
it can be easily fixed as long as you communicate. Like if it's a minor thing, like because I remember like when we had that thing with Kang Hyun.
Oh yeah. Very early on as well.
Yeah, very early on. I think we were like friends for 1 month. And I remember I specifically told you I'm not upset with you. I was upset with him and his carry on.
Yeah.
Because you took your time and you asked me if that's okay with you. And I remember I looked you straight in the eyeball and I said, yeah, that's fine. But I was upset with his carry on because he would look at me while he was like dancing with you.
Yeah.
And I thought that was disrespectful.
Yeah.
Because I was
massively.
like, not just towards me, but I thought it was disrespectful towards you as well, because he clearly was trying to get a reaction out of me.
Yeah.
And that's why I left that night. And I feel like there was a little bit of misunderstanding between us, because a week later when we met in Drunken Fish, I sat down next to you and I was like, okay, look, let's talk.
Yeah.
And you were like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I was nervous because I thought she'd be like, get out of my face. Like, absolutely hate you.
Get lost.
Get out of my sight.
Yeah, and then I explained to you and you were like,
Yeah,
no, that
fair,
makes sense.
Totally fair.
Yeah.
And I think it would be, you know, I would kind of unnatural for you to even have sort of harbor some kind of negative feeling towards me in that situation. I know you say you were fine with it, but like, you know, you're going to be a bit like, why the fuck is she even asking me that? You know, you will think that, or maybe you did, but like I think if the roles were reversed, I would think like I'd be a bit like.
I actually didn't, because he really annoyed me.
Yeah,
and I thought you would get him off my hands.
Okay, so I was doing you a favor.
Yeah, I looked at it as a favor, towards me, your new friend, and I remember that like I think I didn't tell you nothing about him as well. I was like, I'll just wait for Ellen to find out herself.
Since that's what she wanted in the beginning.
Yeah, and come to me with her findings. And I remember the first time you came to me and you were like, did you have these problems with him? And I was like, I've been waiting.
Yeah, you've been waiting. I think you couldn't open that inbox fast enough to read those messages. You were probably looking like,
I was ready.
This is what I wanted.
Been waiting.
Yeah, no, I was the guinea pig. I think it was just a big research. I think it was just a big research experiment. Like Kang Hyun. He just was, because
I feel like it also tested our friendship early on.
It did. Yeah.
Like if we could overcome that, I feel like we would be pretty okay.
We'd be pretty alright. Yeah. Can trust and friendships be? I think I fully agree with what you said. I think it just depends on
the situation,
on the nature of the friendship and what has actually happened.
Yeah, if you're like really close friends, and if it's like a minor thing, yes.
Yeah.
But if you're not that close friends and it's a minor thing, probably not.
No.
You don't even have that bond.
Yeah.
And if it's like a major thing,
Yeah.
probably not.
Yeah.
It doesn't even matter on the
It doesn't even matter,
circumstances.
yes,
Like you just
exactly.
wouldn't be able to trust that person again. You'd be constantly in your head like
Yeah, you
thinking.
wouldn't.
Even if you did like look normal in their eyes, like you'd have a lot of turmoil.
It would just be in the back of your head.
Yeah,
it would
yeah,
be, you know,
you would
subconsciously.
literally have a
yeah.
lot of turmoil in your
Yeah,
head.
you
and you'd
would.
be like,
you would. You'd be kind of
what's
like,
going
oh,
on?
she's saying this, but is she meaning this?
Yeah,
or, you know,
yeah, yeah.
You wouldn't be able, yeah.
Well, like, oh, she looked at him now.
You'd be uncomfortable. It'd be
yeah,
uncomfy, yeah. And like, do you think you'd ever tell your friend if you thought their partner was bad for them?
Yes.
Yeah, I think I would as well.
I mean,
Yeah.
I did tell you before.
Yeah, you did. I think I've told you as well. I think, you know, in your experiences where you've messaged me and
Yeah.
you've given me a bit of context and I've been like,
I think that's good to have a friend for. I think that's one of the reasons you have friends for, because they help you see sometimes things you can't see yourself.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
And you need honest friends with you so they can like literally open your eyes.
You
to
need
the
people to be
world.
objective,
Yeah.
you know, and to kind of, yeah, exactly. Someone on the outside who can kind of see things that you can't.
Yeah.
Obviously, like, but when you're in it can be very hard to like hear that advice. It can be easily interpreted as like, oh, you're just being negative. You're being a hater. Why don't you support me? You're supposed to be my friend.
You're just jealous of me.
I think those feelings are valid, but
Yeah.
because you're kind of in the throes of a relationship or whatever is going on. But I think you kind of have to sort of. What I've learned is, because I used to be like that, but I think like if I was with somebody that you really just were like, Ellen, like no, like I think I would actually listen to that, because I'm like, well, Nancy's on the outside here. Maybe she's seeing something I'm not.
Because
but that's perspective. Whereas before I'd be like, you're just a hater.
Yeah, because I remember, I think, what was his name? Lee.
Oh.
Yeah, because I remember
throwback.
when you went to the toilet, he was like grinding up on me while you were gone.
Yeah.
And Shab was obviously there as a witness. So it's not like I was by myself with him. So like there was like two people telling you. Because I remember you told me you came back and the first thing you saw was Shub like show you this. And that guy.
I went over to get your man and I turned around because I was like, where's Nancy? And I saw you and Shub and he just looked at me and he was just like.
Yeah. Because
and I was like, what the hell?
Yeah,
and then I asked you and you told me.
Yeah, but
like,
I feel like you were quite questioning.
Yeah, I was.
Time.
Yeah,
you were
yeah.
looking at me and you were like, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I was like, why would he do that?
Yeah, because our friendship was quite early at the time as well.
Yeah.
So you literally didn't have any basis to trust me yet. But
Yes.
I think what helped me was the next day when he texted me on not Instagram, Facebook. He added me. Yeah, he didn't even add me on Facebook. He started messaging me, and I just like sent you all the screenshots of the messages.
Yeah.
And then I think that's when it clicked for you.
Yeah, I was like, wow, okay.
Yeah, because
that's how I knew. I was like, okay, Nancy's actually like legit.
Yeah, because and I think also at the time it helped that there was another person who was like saying no, because I just remember you literally just went to the toilet. Like, come on, dude.
Yeah.
And he's just like, he like shimmied up to me and started groping my hip,
just
and
doing
he's
his
like,
thing,
yeah, what are you getting to drink? And I was like,
fucking nothing from you. Wow.
Yeah. Just like, who are you?
Yeah.
And I remember I looked at Chubb and Chubb looked at me and he like,
he had to separate.
Yeah, because I felt so uncomfortable.
Oh, that's such icky
Because first of all,
behavior.
he came with you. Like that just made me feel really uncomfy.
Yeah.
Like, because like I wanted to be friends with you at the time and we were building our friendship.
Yeah.
And that just made me feel really uncomfortable.
Yeah,
and I was like, no, because I would never go with like I'm friends with someone who's like, even if you weren't together at the time, you weren't together, but you were like kind of seeing each other. So like I would never like do that, and that made me really uncomfortable. And I was like,
but I do know
not.
Even in that moment, like I still like went with him, and I still like I left the club with him. I just ditched. I mean, in fairness, you were with Shub, so it's not like you were like fully alone.
You didn't
like,
ditch us, but you stayed with him.
I stayed with him. Yeah.
Yeah, you stayed with him, and I remember we went to Supermax to get some fries after.
Yeah.
But but I think next day it kind of
clicked.
But you were quite drunk at the time as well, so I don't think you could. I don't think you could rationally even like consider options.
Absolutely
besides
not.
like, what are you trying to tell me?
I'm still trying to think rationally.
Yeah.
Fucking 8 years later, 9 years later. But anyway, yeah.
No, because I remember like we were telling you, and you were just like you were not comprehending.
I feel like I was just staring at you with my drunk
like,
eyeballs, and I was like,
okay, but I don't understand.
Yeah, something
like
wrong.
what's the problem?
Yeah. What's going on? Anyway, he ditched me and like, fuck him.
Yeah.
He was so hung up on his ex that like he just, even when we went out on dates or like whenever he was interacting with me, he was always texting her, calling her. Like he was just obsessed with
because
his
that
ex,
night he
wasn't over
actually
her.
did leave you alone.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Me and Shub phoned you later on.
Yeah.
And I think that's when it started to click for you the next day as well.
He told me I was too much and to get out of his sight, and he was tired of me in the middle of the street. So I wrapped my arms around myself.
You texted me and called me.
I texted you. I was crying. Yeah.
We came to find you. I remember that because I was with
and I just tail between my legs. I wrapped my arms around myself.
And then the next day you were like, I'll believe you.
Yeah.
And then he started texting me and he was like, what's your problem? Why did you tell Ellen this and Ellen that? And I was like, was I not supposed to? Like, was that a secret? Like, what do you think? You're so good looking that I'm going to like fall over myself and be like, fuck Ellen. Like, fuck my friend.
Also, you had Shub as a witness. Yeah. So like, if you didn't tell me, he probably would have fucking told me. Like, so.
You would have found out.
I would have found out anyway.
Like,
yeah.
You know?
Okay, and to round out this episode, do you think loyalty is more important than honesty in friendship?
I think again it depends on the situation, because I would like to say I'm quite a loyal person.
Yeah.
But you know that I would call you out if I thought you were wrong.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah. Like, I think you would do the same for me as well.
I would.
And I think that's what makes me appreciate you more as a friend as well, that you would tell me. If, like, no,
100%,
you're in the wrong here. Like, you know?
Yeah.
So I actually do think honesty would probably be more important. Because you, as I said previously as well, like, you would want a real friend that would tell you what's what.
Yeah, you would.
Like,
yeah, like, I think... So for me, like, loyalty and honesty kind of go hand in hand a little bit. I think anyway, a friendship that, you know, where you're loyal to your friends and they're loyal to you should always just be led with honesty, always.
Yeah. Like, you can still be loyal and honest.
Yeah.
But, like, if you're just blindly loyal and just agreeing with everything that's happening, I don't think that's okay either. Like, for example, like, that's like, imagine, like, I did something really, really bad and it went against your morals and you were just, like, blindly loyal to me.
Yeah, no, okay, that would be a problem. Yeah,
exactly.
oh, for sure,
That's why I think honesty is more important, because at the end of the day, at least you'll push me back from the edge.
Yeah, okay.
Like, you know, instead of like coming over it with me and then we're like both sitting in prison.
And we're both kind of fucking on the edge and we're like, oh, how do we get
dead
here?
or sitting in a prison, like somewhere, like, you know, exactly. You want someone to say, no, this is a bad idea.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. Yeah, I think that perspective is interesting. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, but I think like I would consider, like, if you're loyal to me, like, I would expect honesty from that. And I think if you want to be loyal to me as a friend, like, I would just be honest with me, and like you'll get the same in return.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But like, that's what I mean. That can be blind loyalty, and you don't want that. That's why.
No, not blind loyalty. Like,
that's why I think in this conversation, loyalty over honesty over honesty, definitely, because you can still be loyal to your friend while being honest, and like, maybe keeping them out of prison while doing that.
So yeah, all right, well, food for thought. So thanks so much for tuning in to today's episode of Sip and Talk. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, because it helps us out a lot, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.
Thank you.
Thanks,
bye.